Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pamela and today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, which is influencers and why they're starting their own businesses. There are so many content creators out there who make the transition from being a full-time content creator or just a content creator in general and moving into the entrepreneur space and starting their own businesses. This is a topic that so many people talk about online. A lot of people have very strong opinions about it, and as a content creator who has now started her own business mainly because of social media and has been able to bring my audience into this, I feel like I can bring a lot of insight into this topic. So I've done a ton of research and I really want to dive into why people are doing this. So if you guys are interested, we're going to be covering 3 different topics today. Why do influencers and creators start their own business? We're also going to cover some real examples of successful influencers that have made the pivot into being their own entrepreneur. And lastly, what are the pros and cons of starting your own business as an influencer, plus a mini blueprint on how you can do it too. Like I said before, I'm speaking from real experience. I am a content creator. I've worked with over 150 brands and I've been able to start my own successful media company. So let's get into it. To give you guys a little bit of insight about me and how I got into the whole content creation world, I began as a content creator back in 2020. This was around June. I was finishing up my senior year of high school. I had just gotten accepted into my dream college, which was the Fashion Institute of Technology. I was so excited to go to school, but the one problem is that I felt like I had nothing under my belt. I felt like I was going to go into college with zero experience, zero anything under my belt, and all of these people were going to be in college with all of these amazing things. I don't know why I thought that at such a young age, but that gave me so much anxiety, and I was like, I need to create something almost like a portfolio to just have to document my college experience. So I thought, why not start a blog, which is my virtual fashion journal and guide. A few months later, I ended up launching a social media management agency, which is called Valdez Agency. 2 years later, I ended up launching a newsletter and a podcast, and now all of those things are within my media company. So Valdez Agency currently holds my podcast, my newsletter, my blog, as well as my influencer marketing agency. I actually started taking content creation seriously that same month that I started my blog, which was June 2020. I was starting this blog and I was like, I need to take my social media more seriously. I was a very big consumer. I loved watching other YouTubers, and I was like, if these people can do this and make a living off of it and work with really cool brands, why can't I do this? I could totally do this. I don't know why I thought that. When I put my mind to something, I will figure out anything that I can to try to make it happen. So that's exactly what I did. I started posting consistently. I learned to get more comfortable in front of the camera. I would go out with my sister and shoot content. Because of that and building this audience and getting to know what people want to see online, I was able to start all these different ventures because not only was I already an influencer and starting to work with these brands, I was also doing a bunch of internships at the same time. I was working with these companies on the brand side. So I was getting 2 sides of the industry, as an influencer and as a intern and as an employee working at these companies. So because of all this experience, I decided I can totally start my own business, and it has been history ever since. I got into the world of entrepreneurship at a very early age. I was literally in high school graduating, and as soon as I got into college, I knew that being an entrepreneur was something that was really on my mind. I went and I got a fashion business degree, but I knew deep down that I did not want to work for anybody. I really wanted to just be my own business owner. So when I became a content creator, I knew that I can kind of use that to reverse engineer the entire industry and build my own experience, learn these things, work with these brands, do internships, just acquire a bunch of knowledge from different people and different companies, and use that to my advantage down the road to eventually start my own thing, which is exactly what I did. From what I've gathered online, there are a few main reasons why influencers start their own business. First is obviously freedom. You get so much freedom when you are an entrepreneur compared to being a content creator. When a brand wants to work with you, they email you, they reach out to you, they say, this is how much we're going to pay you, these are the deliverables that we want. After the campaign is all wrapped up and you follow the exact creative brief that they want, you will then get paid depending on whether it's net 60 or net 90, which basically means 60 to 90 days after the campaign wraps up. That is essentially how an influencer campaign works. Sometimes brands will not have a lot of budget, they will not be able to pay you a lot. Other times brands will have a ton of budget and they will even be able to pay you enough money that can cover an entire month's worth of all of your expenses. So every single brand is different, but you get so much more creative freedom and just freedom in general when you're a business owner, because you're not relying on just brand partnerships and all of these ads. You're building something that is your own and not a video that at the end of the day a brand is paying you that they want to own or they want to run in ads. Number 2 is you actually get to acquire more skills as a business owner compared to just being a content creator and working with brands. Not everyone wants to be a business owner, and that is perfectly fine because it is an industry that is very hard. You have to learn so much and you're you're gonna go through a lot of things. I've seen so many podcast interviews of business owners. I've seen so many episodes of Shark Tank. I've literally been so immersed in the world of entrepreneurship for so many years. I've seen people lose it all just to get their dreams to come true, and sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. It's a very scary world. There is no guidebook on how to be a business owner or an entrepreneur. It's really just something that you go head first into, but there are so many risks that can lead to really great rewards and so many skills that you acquire. If I would have never decided back as a senior in high school that I wanted to start a blog, I would have never known how to build a website. If I didn't decide that I wanted to start an agency, I would have never known how to email these brands and properly format an email, or what is an email signature. If I would have never even decided that I wanted to get into content creation, I would have never known about these different agencies and ways that you can reach out to brands, how to negotiate a brand deal for yourself. Everything has skills that you acquire, and to me that is the coolest thing ever, because you never know when you're going to be able to use that skill down the road. And learning more, there is never anything wrong with that. You're never going to regret learning something new or obtaining a new skill. As a business owner, you can also monetize so many other things rather than just partnerships and brand deals. There are so many content creators who have digital products, they have merchandise, they sell physical products like notebooks and stuff. There are so many ways that you can monetize being an influencer rather than just making videos and doing partnerships or brand deals. Like I said before, not everybody has to be a business owner, but there are so many cool ways to make extra money literally from just being yourself. There's also a lot of scale and growth opportunities. If you start a makeup brand, you can possibly get into Sephora. If you start a food line, maybe you're a food content creator, you can eventually get into Costco and Whole Foods. There's so many cool ways that you can get your business out there into new audiences and new markets. To be able to do that, I think is just, like I said, the coolest thing ever. There are so many entrepreneurs and people that I have listened to in podcasts or have read about online that went to school or did something completely different than what they ended up being a business owner in. And to me, that pipeline of chasing your dreams and following it, even if it seems like a crazy idea, I feel like it's always worth it in the end, because you really never know where it can get you. Obviously, like I said before, it can be really hard to be an entrepreneur because you never know if it's going to succeed or not, but you never know if you don't try. And lastly is there is so much community building within being a business owner. When you get to know your audience better and you actually see what they want and you get to hear what they want and what solutions they want, that is something that is invaluable compared to anything else. Like, I started my agency, Valdez Agency, simply because I saw and I heard from so many content creators that there was a problem in the industry. Certain people were getting constant opportunities. They were getting all of these brand deals and really big partnerships and brand trips. Meanwhile, other people of color or from different backgrounds were not getting those same opportunities. And as a Latina that has Dominican parents, Dominican roots, and sees these things going on in the content creator industry, I was like, I want to be the person that can give people the chance to work with their dream brands. I want to be the person that can take a chance on people and say, hey, you make great content, and even though someone else might not be able to say that, I want to be able to give you the chance to work with this brand or this brand, and I want to make this happen. Because I remember when I got the first chance to work with a company that I never thought I would be able to, and I was a very small creator, I literally never thought that would happen to me, and that was a feeling that I literally can never forget, because someone literally said yes to you. I was like, I want to do this for everybody. And so when I decided I wanted to start my agency, I did so much market research in the literal form where people can sign up to be a creator on Valdez Agency. I write, what are your problems? What do you want to see more in the industry of? What are you struggling with? What are your dream brands that you want to work with? And then I take that information and I take those real answers from people in the industry, and I'm like, how can we make this happen? How can we bring a solution to these people? And because of that, I've been able to get to know my audience so much better, rather than just me posting a video here and there saying, hey guys, use this mascara, hey guys, use this shampoo. I've now done so much research in the back end, and I've seen what these influencers want, and because of that, I'm here now to make a solution. Now let's get into some examples of real influencers that have been able to turn their business ideas into a reality. Matilda Djerf is a great example. She's the founder of Djerf Avenue, which is a clothing and accessory line. She's now getting into hair care, but she is best known for her fashion and her basic, sweet Swedish style, and because of that, she was able to identify that her audience loves her style. That's literally what she was known for, and her gorgeous hair, and she has now converted that into a actual business and a whole product line. And in 2023, according to Forbes, Matilda Djerf actually made $34.5 million from her business, which is absolutely insane, and I think that that is amazing. Nitsin Rader, who is the founder of Mind Your Business, is also an influencer. She has over 300,000 followers on Instagram, and Mind Your Business is a collection of courses that you can take to turn your outfit of the days and the content that you're making every day into an actual paycheck. And then she also sells physical products such as planners, which can help you for your everyday. And for me to be able to see that transition as someone that has been following her for years, this entire business line and model made complete sense. Huda Kattan, she is another great woman who has been able to start an amazing business. She's the founder of Huda Beauty, and also according to some articles online, she's been able to bring $200 million annually just from her makeup line, and that is also incredible because the makeup industry is literally a billion-dollar industry. Ami Song, she's the founder of Song of Style, was able to bring in $4 million just from social media alone, according to Forbes. I think this was in 2023. I was not able to find exactly how much she made from Song of Style and the exact revenue of her clothing line, but it is a very successful line and has been at Revolve for years, and she was an OG beauty influencer and beauty fashion blogger who was able to turn that audience into now customers who can shop her clothing at Revolve. Lastly is Najine Mirsali. She is another great example of an influencer that started her own brand. She is the founder of Jisoo, which is a honey-infused hair care line, and now they have lip products. That is a great pipeline because her family actually comes from generations of beekeepers, and I think that's super unique because I've never really heard of someone that has been able to do that, but her family literally owns a bunch of bee farms, and she has been able to turn that real honey into hair care products and now lip oil. So it is a very great transition. Looking at these influencers and seeing how they have been able to turn their businesses into successful ideas is something that is really cool to admire and see on the back end. So how exactly are these influencers doing this? How have they been able to make these things as successful as they have been? First is they're identifying a problem in their industry and they're making a solution for it. Influencers like Matilda Djerf, for example, people love her easygoing, feminine, casual style. She's from Sweden, and if you guys know and have seen European style online, especially Pinterest, you know that it's very basic, but people love it. So she identified and saw that her audience loved her basic style, and she was able to make that into a clothing line, which has now been largely and widely popular. And now she's getting into hair care because people are always like, what is your hair care secret? Two is these influencers are bringing genuine good products to the market. Now obviously there can be some times where this doesn't happen and a lot of projects can be rushed. I know, for example, Addison Rae started Item Beauty. That was another really popular makeup line for a little bit. It was literally in Sephora, and then the entire line ended up getting shut down. Jaclyn Hill, who's also an OG beauty and makeup influencer, started a makeup line. She started a jewelry line, a home decor line, or a home line, and none of these have worked and they've all shut down. And she's made videos talking about how she realized she is not fit or meant to be in the business industry as an entrepreneur. It is completely different from being a content creator, which, like I said, is totally true. It's two completely different sides of the industry. It works for some people and it doesn't for others. These influencers are also diversifying themselves from other people in the industry. They're not just making a basic hair care line or a basic makeup line. They're actually looking at what the industry wants, at what their audience would like, and they are going to that specific niche. For example, they're not doing basic merch lines either, like hoodies or sweatpants, but they're actually seeing what are they known for and how can they make some sort of product within this industry. For me, I was really known for my advice videos and how I was able to work with certain brands, etc. And because of this, I've been able to now bring my audience in to trust me and say, hey, we want to be an influencer for Valdez Agency. We want to be part of the Valdez Agency community. I've built all this trust over the last few years, and I genuinely wanted to help people. I always give free resources and advice and tips online. And lastly, a lot of these people are also building more diverse and intimate communities with their audience. These people already follow them for a reason, and having a brand is just an extension of that. You're giving people even more of a reason to stay because now you're offering them something rather than what whatever you were posting before. For example, Matilda Jerv. Before, it was just outfit videos and this is how I style my hair. Now it's like she's offering an extension of herself, which is clothing that you can purchase, hair care that you can purchase, and more. This also gives these influencers the chance to get a lot more personal with their audience because you're getting to know their needs, you're getting to know what they want to know and what solutions they want. A really great example of a brand that is very personal with their audience is Array. They are a supplement line, and I'm pretty sure that I just saw on TikTok they had a movie night the other day for some of their top customers and literally treated it like it was an influencer event. They brought them in and they were like, hey, we're having this night for you. You can grab all these snacks and enjoy. I'm pretty sure there was like a little bit of gifting with some products, but brands that do that and actually have intimate moments and more personal moments with their audience is always a win for me. Now let's get into some of the pros and cons of starting your own business as an influencer. First is you get to build off of an audience that you already have. You don't have to go out and build one completely from scratch. You already have one that is existing, that follows you for a reason, that likes you or knows what kind of content that you post and wants to see more. An example that I mentioned earlier about me is I was really known for my advice videos and my tips and how to write an email, how to work with brands. I was already giving all this information for free. So when I announced that I was starting an agency where I was connecting brands with influencers, it made a lot of sense because I was already posting a lot of content about that over the last few years. And then I just decided to start my own agency. Two is there is a lot of monetization opportunities for you. When you are a content creator, there are so many different routes that you can take, whether it's making a physical product, making a digital product, having a course, whatever it is, there's so many different routes that you can take that can really diversify you from other people who are just posting brand deals and ads. Lastly, which is probably the best part, is that you don't have to rely on brand deals and partnerships solely to get by. It can be really hard to find a ton of brands that can pay you a lot of money throughout the month. That is why I always say that influencing is such an inconsistent stream of income, because one month you can make $10,000, another month you can make $200. If you are saving and investing your money in the right way, then obviously you're all set, but it can definitely be really hard to rely on that consistent income when there is not. Some months, a lot of brands may be looking for creators for a certain campaign. Other months, it's very dry. Some of the cons, though, of starting your own business as an influencer is that people are going to have high expectations. This is something that I see a lot online, especially with bigger influencers. For example, Addison Rae's Item Beauty and Jaclyn Hill's multiple brands. People were expecting Jaclyn Hill's makeup line to be the best makeup line ever because she's been in the beauty industry for so many years. She's an OG makeup influencer, and when people saw that there was hair fibers and there was all that drama going on with her makeup line, people immediately were like, no. But when she was in the peak of being in the makeup industry on YouTube and being in that whole world, people were obsessed with anything that she posted. Even me, I was literally obsessed with Makeup Geek and her collab with Becca Cosmetics. I didn't even wear makeup. I didn't even know how to apply makeup, but anything that she talked about or promoted, I was immediately on board. So that is just an example of your audience can often have high expectations, and if you mess that up or do something, it can be really hard to kind of earn that back. Everybody makes mistakes, so I feel like people definitely need to be a lot less harsh than how they are now on the internet. Another con is that this is a huge transition from just being an influencer. Like I said before, posting a brand deal or a partnership is a lot easier than running an entire business, having employees, paying people. It is a completely different industry than literally just getting products in the mail for free and then making a get ready with me video. It is two different industries, so it can be a little bit hard to make that adjustment, but again, it is something that you will learn new skills from and acquire new things. Lastly is you often may feel like you have to be limited to a certain niche if you do decide to start a business as an influencer. If you start something that is completely different from what you're known for, it's going to be a little bit confusing to your audience. For example, if you do makeup and you end up starting a baking line, people are going to be like, why? She's never even talked about baking. Why is she starting a baking line? Or for example, if you are really into exercise and then you randomly start a jewelry line, it's not really going to make sense. People are going to be like, why do you only post videos about working out and you randomly launch a earring line? Like, it's not really going to make sense. So sometimes it can be hard to be stuck within that niche, but that is just something that is worth thinking about. If you are a content creator and you want to start your own business, here is a mini blueprint on some of the steps that I think are really great for you to follow if you do want to get into this. So first is identify your niche. You want to figure out what kind of content do you post, what do you do online, what are you currently known for? And if you don't have a really big audience, that is totally fine. You can start thinking about these ideas and what it is that you want to do. But I think think it's really important to identify what kind of content are you posting, do you have a specific niche, and what are you known for. 2 is you want to decide on what kind of product you are going to be making. Is it going to be digital or is it going to be physical? If it's physical, it's obviously going to be a little bit more expensive. If it is digital, you definitely just have to be a lot more tech savvy and learn how to do whatever it is that you want to do, whether it is building a website, building a newsletter, starting a podcast, whatever it is. 3 is you want to do your market research. You want to see and ask your audience, what are you looking for? You can also do small survey groups. I know there's some out there that pay people $100 or even $50, $75 for an hour of their time and just ask them a bunch of questions about what they want from the industry. Doing that market research, I think, is great because you really will get to know your audience and get real answers about what they want. Next is you want to build your brand over time and build excitement. If you are secretly launching something and you're building it behind the scenes, but you're not getting excitement and you're not letting people know that it is in the works, that can be a red flag, because if people know that something is coming, that's going to make them be more aware of, okay, when is it going to come? What's the timing going to look like? What is this about? And they're going to have all these questions. When I first launched Valdez Agency, I built a little bit of excitement for it. I had a post on the Instagram page for Valdez Agency that said coming soon, and I had a website. I had all these things that I was building up, and then when I finally launched, people were able to see, versus when I launched my blog, I did not do any excitement or little teasers beforehand. I literally just said, hey, I started a blog. Obviously that's not as exciting because people don't really care, but if you're teasing a little bit beforehand, that can be great. Lastly is you want to promote and do different marketing strategies. Social media is a great free marketing strategy because you don't really have to pay for ads unless you want to. You can literally just make a bunch of videos every single day at different times, try different hooks, see what gets people interested, see what they want, and then from there you can just continue to promote and build, reach out to people, email people, etc. When I started Valdez Agency, I actually made a bunch of videos of behind the scenes, how I had did my first campaign with Pandora, how I reached out to people, etc., how I found the creators. I was literally just putting out a bunch of behind the scenes content, and because of that, people were literally able to see what went into this, and that actually built a lot of engagement over on social media, and it got even more people to sign up because they already knew me, they already knew the kind of content that I posted, and when they saw that I had done this entire Pandora thing literally in my garage and had made a mini warehouse, people were actually interested and they were like, wait, I want to see more of this. That is all for today's video. I hope that this was informational, educational. I hope that this inspired you if you are a content creator to want to start your own business and ask yourself these questions. I have been in this industry for quite a few years now, and I want to just be able to help you guys as much as possible. And if you want to be a creator for Valdez Agency, I definitely recommend heading over to thevaldezagency.com, and I am so excited to post more videos like this. So if you guys want to see more content, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.